Hi, I wanted to give an idea of another way you can make a finishing table that's really pretty easy to do, and you can use wood that you've got laying around and new wood too. The bottom part there is my finishing table. I wanted to show you that part on top, which I've used this finishing table, and I built this cabinet, completely installed it, and put it together. So I did that on there. That's all 3/4 plywood. That whole thing I glued together and built, saw, everything. I also, on this finishing table, built this cabinet here. And you know, this white Melamac type wood is difficult. And this is a full 2 feet deep with 3/4 wood drawers, and that was completely assembled, glued, clamped, everything on this table. I just added these wheels to make it a little easier to move around. They're not very big, and I will show you. It's only the full depth of this when it's closed up is from here to here. That's the finishing table. So there it is right there. That's about 6 inches deep. And I'll start putting it together pretty soon. Okay, now we'll put the table together. Okay, and a few of these things I made, you can come up with something a little different if you want, no big deal. And we'll just kind of move it out. As you can see, it's kind of piano hinged. So once it's out of ways, it's not a big deal. And I'm going to show you the hardware that I use for the feet down here. I've got 4 adjustable ones in case I take this somewhere where I'd use those, and those are right there, and they're on each side. And then there's at the corners, I put those just for a little more stability, and those are adjustable also, but these are a little easier. And this is the way everything kind of fits in here. So what we're going to do, notice on top here, on each one of these boards, I've got a little mark. And then the marks are on these ends so that I can tell where they go. And you can see a mark here and a mark there, a round one and a straight one. So here's a round one, and I'm going to take it. And these I added after I built this thing. Oh, I guess I should put it through here. I added these after I built it because you end up with stuff all over the top constantly, and it just kind of drives you nuts. Alright, this one is a straight, so that'll go in here. And, oh, by the way, this is all put together. You probably saw that with the close-ups, but it's all put together with pocket joinery. So I used the Kreg system, and there's no glue. So I could take this thing totally apart with some screws. And like I said, I have built all these things. I've been using it for about a year now, and worked pretty good. So here's one with a V. Now you don't have to use all these either. You can make however many of these little drawers as you want. But and I'll show you why I have these. I bought those at the big box store. This is just pine wood that I got at the big box store, and I had some here, and you'll see some of this I already had together. Okay, got that done. And then down comes kind of a base out of an old piece of plywood, old cabinet I took apart. And that stays there, throw clamps and so on down there. And also you can not put a couple of these shelves in, and you can put a vacuum down here, and it's out of the way, and you can use that for some dust removal. The lid comes up and goes down. A couple boards at the big box store, and I pinned them and glued them together with some joinery. Originally I had them where they come apart, but this works better. I don't really like these, and if anybody's got some better ideas, write some comments, because I'd like to get rid of these. And what I may do is use a French cleat or something and have it hang down here. There's two more boards around this side, and one is here. This one I kind of put on with a French cleat, but it goes in inside, and I added this towards the end, and I'll show you why that is. I love it. And then I got to thinking, geez, I got this big space here, I don't need that height. So this board fits in those, and I just move that up and down it goes. Alright, and then what I can do is, when I'm using this, you know, you put saws down there, things that are in your way, you're clamping, and you got a place to throw your clamps out from under. Some longer clamps. This is great for pieces of wood that are longer that you want out of your way. Some guides, straight edges and that sort of thing. And there it is. At this point, the only thing I'm not real happy with is this, because I have a shooting board that I put on and I've got to move it down a ways. I'd rather have it at the corner. But it does make it awful easy to lift this and move things around. And all these little shelves are so fantastic when you've got drills and your skill saw, and say you need this for a while, you can throw stuff down here that you know you're going to use again, and so on. So write some comments, see if you got some better ideas about what to do here, but appreciate you watching. Thank you. Okay, some additional information on this. I used different things that I had left over from other projects that I tore apart and so on. So some of these things are not new that are on here, but the piano hinges, I really didn't say much about those. They, of course, are one of the main parts of this. The reason that I didn't glue this pocket hole joinery together was because if I beat on this or hit it too hard with something and so on, what I can do is just unscrew it and replace it with a new piece. Also, on this other side, where I have much bigger hole where I can set larger things down below, and you can see where that board is, the longer board. But you can see the hinge closer that I had to put on this, and that is literally, I mean, I bought about 5 or 6 different hinges to see if I could somehow put this thing in such a manner that it would open and close. But if you really look at it, it's difficult. And in fact, the edge, like on this edge over here, I had a little reveal there so that I could clamp things a little easier with shorter clamps on the edges, and I took it off on this side to get even this to work. But it is so much easier to be able to flip this than to take a board that big with one person and put it on there. Now, the other thing is I put some Velcro on some of these other boards to help hold them in place while I close it up. And also, this is 6 foot long by about 34 inches deep, and of course the depth really, I built this thing around the 2 boards on top on what I could put on there. And you know, you can even use plywood and so on. It really doesn't matter. You just want to make it so that you are able to take it off and replace it if it gets bad. I would say the weight that I had put on this, that one cabinet that was sitting on top of it probably weighed 400 to 500 pounds. It was heavy enough that 2 of us couldn't lift it, and so we had to use come along and hand trucks to even get it up our little stairway. So it's very heavy. Anyway, so that's something that you might consider for this. Doesn't have to be just a finishing table. I actually use it as a workbench also, and works very well. So anyway, if give it a try to build one. Let me know if you want more information about them. Thanks.